It's your boy Mike, back in the glorious, slightly unhinged sanctuary of the Novel Nest, and today we are not just talking about one book. Oh no, we are diving headfirst into a celebration, a tribute, a veritable feast of literary brilliance crafted by some of the most incredible, insightful, and downright revolutionary minds to ever put pen to paper, and they just so happen to be women. Seriously, guys, for too long, the literary canon has been, shall we say, a bit of a boys' club. But the truth is, women have been writing earth-shattering, soul-stirring, mind-bending novels for centuries, often against incredible odds. They've given us characters that feel like our closest friends or our most fascinating nemesis, worlds that we can lose ourselves in, and ideas that have fundamentally changed the way we see ourselves and society. So today, I'm not just giving you one review. I'm giving you a quest, a starting point, my personal, passionately curated, slightly manic list of 20 greatest novels written by women that every single one of you crazy book addicts out there simply has to experience. This is definitive, it's not exhaustive, how could it be? But it's a hell of a place to start an incredible literary journey. These are books that have shaped me, challenged me, made me laugh, made me weep, and fundamentally expanded my understanding of the human heart. Are you ready to have your literary worlds rocked? Let's do this. And here we go. In no particular order of greatestness, because they're all masterpieces in their own right, but in an order that just feels right to your boy, Mike, today. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. All right, let's kick off with an absolute tit. And if you think classic means boring, Austen is here to deliver a witty, diamond-sharp slap to your preconceived notions. We're plunged into the world of the English gentry, where marriage is practically a competitive sport. At its heart is Elizabeth Bennet, or Lizzie. She's not just a heroine, she's a revolution in petticoats, armed with an intellect that could cut glass and a refusal to bow to societal nonsense. Her verbal sparring with the proud, infuriating, and yes, ultimately swoon-worthy Mr. Darcy is the stuff of literary legend. This isn't just a romance, it's a scalpel-sharp satire of class, manners, and the often ridiculous dance of courtship. Austen's genius lies in making these 19th century drawing room dramas feel utterly, hilariously, and poignantly relevant. You will laugh, you will cringe at Mrs. Bennet, and you will cheer for Lizzie with every fiber of your being. Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley. Hold on to your hats, because this one was penned by a teenager and it basically invented a whole genre. We're not just talking about a lumbering monster with bolts in his neck. Shelley rips open the very fabric of creation, ambition, and the terrifying consequences of playing God. Victor Frankenstein, driven by a desperate hunger for scientific glory, creates life and then, in his horror and hubris, abandons his creation. The creature, intelligent, articulate, and desperately lonely, becomes a tragic figure, driven to monstrous acts by the cruelty and rejection of humanity. This book is a dark, gothic, philosophical deep dive that makes you question who the true monster is. The creator or the created? It's a haunting, powerful, and profoundly unsettling masterpiece that will stay with you long after you've turned the final chilling page. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. Reader, I married him. If that line doesn't send a shiver down your spine, I don't know what will. This is a novel that pulses with raw, untamed passion and a fierce, unyielding spirit. We follow Jane, an orphaned, plain-faced governess, as she navigates a world determined to crush. From the grim halls of Lowood Institution to the mysterious, brooding Thornfield Hall and its enigmatic master, Mr. Rochester, Jane's journey is one of incredible resilience, unwavering moral integrity, and a desperate yearning for love and belonging on her own terms. Brontë doesn't just give us a gothic romance, she gives us a heroine who demands equality, who values her independence above all, and whose inner fire burns brighter than any societal constraint. It's dark, it's dramatic, it's deeply romantic, and Jane is an absolute icon. Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. Prepare to be swept away by a literary tempest. This is not a gentle love story. It's a wild, brutal, elemental saga of obsessive, all-consuming passion that transcends life and death. Set against the stark, windswept Yorkshire moors, which become a character in their own right, The story of Catherine Earnshaw and the foundling Heathcliff is a dark, unforgettable masterpiece. Their love is a destructive force, a whirlwind of jealousy, revenge, and raw, untamed emotion that leaves a trail of devastation in its wake. Emily Brontë crafts a world so unique, so fiercely imagined, with characters so intensely alive in their torment that it feels less like reading a novel and more like witnessing a force of nature. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, and it will get under your skin and stay there. Middlemarch by George Eliot, Marianne Evans. This isn't just a novel, it's a universe, a study of provincial life that feels as vast and intricate as life itself. Eliot, with her staggering intellect and profound empathy, weaves together the lives, ambitions, follies, and quiet heartbreaks of an entire English town in the 1830. We follow the idealistic, yearning Dorothea Brooke, who seeks a grand purpose but finds herself in a stifling marriage to a desiccated scholar, and the ambitious young doctor Tertius Lydgate, whose noble aspirations are slowly eroded by societal pressures and a shallow wife. Through a rich tapestry of interconnected characters, Eliot explores the complexities of marriage, the weight of social expectation, the search for meaning, and the often unseen, unhistoric acts that shape individual destinies. It's a long read, yes, but it's an incredibly rewarding one, a book that makes you feel wiser, more empathetic, and more deeply connected to the human condition. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Reading Woolf is like diving into the shimmering, ever-shifting currents of human consciousness. This novel isn't driven by a traditional plot, but by the internal landscapes of its characters, primarily the Ramsay family during their summer visits to the Isle of Skye. Through her groundbreaking stream of consciousness prose, Woolf explores the complexities of family relationships, the passage of time, the elusiveness of memory, the search for meaning in art and life, and the profound, often unspoken connections and disconnections between people. The planned trip to the lighthouse becomes a potent symbol of longing, of unfulfilled desires, and of the different ways we perceive and experience reality. It's a beautiful, melancholic, and deeply philosophical work that invites you to feel and see the world in a new, more nuanced way. Beloved by Toni Morrison. This is a novel that will seize you, haunt you, and ultimately leave an indelible mark on your soul. Morrison, with breathtaking lyrical power and unflinching honesty, confronts the unimaginable horrors of slavery and its enduring transgenerational trauma. Seth, a former slave, lives in post-Civil War Ohio, literally haunted by the vengeful ghost of her baby daughter, Beloved, whom she killed to prevent her return to slavery. When a mysterious young woman also named Beloved appears, the past erupts into the present with devastating force. This is a profound, painful, and necessary exploration of memory, motherhood, identity, and the unspeakable choices made in the face of inhuman cruelty. It's a masterpiece of American literature, a testament to survival, and a story that demands to be reckoned with. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Chillingly prescient then, terrifyingly relevant now, Atwood masterfully constructs the dystopian Republic of Gilead, a fundamentalist patriarchal theocracy that has overthrown the United States government. In this new world, women are stripped of all rights, and fertile women, known as handmaids, are forced into ritualized sexual servitude to repopulate a barren ruling class. Narrated by Offred, one such handmaid, the novel is a gripping, claustrophobic, and deeply unsettling exploration of totalitarianism, misogyny, the power of language, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of utter oppression. It's a stark warning and a powerful call for vigilance. The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. Wharton, with her scalpel-sharp wit and exquisite prose, peels back the glittering, impeccably mannered facade of New York's Gilded Age high society to reveal a world of rigid conventions, unspoken rules, and suffocating emotional repression. Newland Archer, a young lawyer engaged to the perfectly suitable May Welland, finds his world and his heart irrevocably shaken by the arrival of May's unconventional, Europeanized cousin, Countess Ellen Olenska. Their impossible, deeply felt love becomes a heartbreaking battle against the unyielding forces of tribal loyalty and societal expectation. It's a subtle, devastating critique of a world where appearances are everything and genuine passion is a dangerous transgression. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. A radiant, lyrical, and groundbreaking celebration of Black female identity, love, and self-discovery. We follow Janie Crawford through her 3 marriages and her journey from a young girl dreaming of pear trees and horizons to a woman who finds her own voice and her own strength. Hurston's use of Southern Black dialect is revolutionary and beautiful, immersing the reader in Janie's world and her rich internal life. This novel is a vibrant testament to resilience, the importance of community, and the quest for a love that allows you to be fully yourself. It sings off the page. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This Pulitzer Prize-winning epistolary novel is an incredibly powerful, often painful, but ultimately triumphant story of Celie, a young African-American woman in the early 20th century South who endures horrific abuse, poverty, and racism. Told through Celie's letters, first to God and then to her sister Nettie, we witness her heartbreaking struggles and her slow, courageous journey towards self-worth, empowerment, and the discovery of love and sisterhood in the most unexpected places. It's a raw, unflinching, and deeply moving testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the healing power of connection. The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende. Prepare to be swept away by a multi-generational family saga teeming with passion, politics, and a vibrant dose of magical realism. Allende, a master storyteller, traces the lives of the Treba family, particularly its unforgettable and often fiercely independent women. From Clara the clairvoyant, whose green hair and otherworldly insights shape the family's destiny, to her granddaughter Alba, who endures political upheaval and brutality. Set against the backdrop of a tumultuous, unnamed Latin American country, this novel is an epic tapestry of love, loss, revolution, and the enduring strength of family bonds. It's rich, it's dramatic, and it's utterly captivating. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. A raw, unflinching, and darkly humorous semi-autobiographical novel that plunges into the psyche of Esther Greenwood, a talented, ambitious young woman who wins a coveted internship at a New York fashion magazine in the summer of 1953, only to find herself spiraling into a terrifying descent into mental illness. Plath's prose is sharp as a shard of glass, capturing Esther's witty, cynical, and increasingly desperate observations on the suffocating societal expectations placed on women in the 1950s and the alienating experience of depression. It's a powerful, poignant, and unforgettable exploration of a brilliant mind cracking under pressure. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. A groundbreaking, visceral, and absolutely gripping masterpiece that shatters genre boundaries. Dana, a modern African-American woman living in 1976 California, finds herself inexplicably and repeatedly pulled back in time to a pre-Civil War Maryland plantation, where she is forced to confront the brutal realities of slavery and her own complex ancestral connection to both a white slave owner and a black slave. Butler uses the framework of science fiction to deliver a harrowing, unflinching, and deeply personal examination of race, power, history, and the brutal cost of survival. It's a book that will leave you breathless and thinking long after you've finished. The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. A profound and revolutionary work of science fiction that challenges our most fundamental understandings of gender, identity, and culture. Genlii, an envoy from an intergalactic federation, arrives on the planet Gethin, also known as Winter, whose inhabitants are ambisexual. They are neither male nor female, but enter a period of sexual receptivity, Kemmer, during which they can manifest as either. Through AI's attempts to understand and build an alliance with the Gethinians, particularly the enigmatic Estraven, Le Guin masterfully explores themes of communication, loyalty, xenophobia, and the very nature of self and other. It's a deeply philosophical, beautifully written, and incredibly thought-provoking novel. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again. With that iconic opening line, du Maurier plunges us into a masterfully crafted psychological thriller steeped in gothic atmosphere and simmering suspense. A young, naive woman marries the wealthy, brooding Maxim de Winter and finds herself living in his grand estate, Manderley, constantly overshadowed by the haunting memory of his beautiful, accomplished, and mysteriously deceased first wife, Rebecca. The insidious influence of the sinister housekeeper Mrs. Danvers and the secrets surrounding Rebecca's life and death create an almost unbearable tension. It's a chilling exploration of jealousy, identity, and the power the past holds over the present. The Golden Notebook by Doris Lessing. A complex, ambitious, and structurally innovative novel that became a landmark of feminist literature and modernism. Lessing tells the story of writer Anna Wolfe through a series of 4 colored notebooks: black for her writing life, red for politics, yellow for fiction based on her experiences, and blue for a personal diary, and a 5th, golden notebook where she attempts to unify these fragmented parts of herself. It's a sprawling, challenging exploration of the lives of free women in the mid-20th century, grappling with love, sex, politics, psychoanalysis, motherhood, and the very act of writing and finding a coherent self in a fractured world. It's a book that demands your engagement and rewards it with profound insights. Bel Canto by Anne Patchett. A lyrical, surprisingly tender, and utterly captivating novel that unfolds in the most unlikely of circumstances. A lavish birthday party for a Japanese businessman held at the vice presidential mansion in an unnamed South American country is taken hostage by a group of young terrorists. Among the hostages is Roxanne Koss, a world-renowned American soprano. As the days turn into weeks and then months, unexpected bonds form between hostages and captors, transcending language and cultural barriers, largely through the transformative power of music. Patchett masterfully explores themes of love, art, class, and the surprising ways humanity can blossom even in the midst of terror and confinement. It's a beautiful, heartbreaking, and ultimately hopeful story. Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. Mantel doesn't just write historical fiction. She resurrects the past with such visceral immediacy, psychological depth, and breathtaking prose that you feel like you're walking the corridors of Henry VIII's treacherous court. Through the eyes of Thomas Cromwell, blacksmith's son, lawyer, politician, and Henry's ruthless right-hand man, we are plunged into the heart of Tudor England's political and religious turmoil. Mantel's Cromwell is a brilliant, complex, often enigmatic figure, and her ability to inhabit his consciousness and render his world with such granular detail is nothing short of genius. This Booker Prize winner is a dense, immersive, and utterly thrilling literary achievement. Homegoing by Ya Jassy, a stunning, ambitious, and deeply moving debut novel that traces the devastating legacy of slavery and colonialism through the intertwined destinies of 2 Ghanaian half-sisters and their descendants over 3 centuries. One sister, Effia, marries an Englishman and remains in the Gold Coast, her descendants entangled with the slave trade from the African side. The other, Essie, is captured, endures the horrors of the Middle Passage, and is sold into slavery in America, her descendants facing generations of brutality and systemic racism. Each chapter follows a new generation, creating an epic, heartbreaking, and beautifully rendered tapestry of family, trauma, resilience, and the enduring search for identity and belonging across continents and time. It's a powerful, necessary, and unforgettable read. Pew! Okay, that's 20! And believe me, my literary loonies, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many more incredible novels by women that could be on this list, that should be on this list. This is my current, passionate, slightly manic starting point for you. These books, they're not just women's literature. They are literature. Period. They are powerful, they are profound, they are hilarious, they are heartbreaking, they are essential. They offer perspectives and experiences that enrich our understanding of the world and ourselves. As a crazy book addict, I can tell you that my reading life, my life would be infinitely poorer without these voices, these stories, these incredible literary achievements. Finishing any one of these books leaves me feeling a potent cocktail of emotions. Awe at the sheer skill, gratitude for the insights, often a deep, resonant connection to the characters and their struggles, sometimes anger at the injustices portrayed, sometimes pure, unadulterated joy at the beauty of the prose or the triumph of the human spirit. These novels stand out because they are fearless. They tackle big themes, they create unforgettable characters, and they do it with artistry, intelligence, and often a breathtaking courage. They remind us that stories can change the world one reader at a time. So my incredible, curious, wonderful novel nesters, your mission, should you choose to accept it, and as a fellow book addict, I know you will, is to dive into these worlds. Pick one, pick 5, pick all 20. Explore these voices, these stories, let them challenge you, move you, inspire you. This isn't just about reading more women, it's about reading more brilliant literature. It's about expanding your horizons and enriching your soul. What are your greatest novels by women? What did I miss that absolutely has to be on everyone's list? Who are the female authors that have rocked your world? Let's get a massive, passionate, book-loving celebration going in the comments below. I want this comment section to be a treasure trove of recommendations. All right, that's the absolutely epic, soul-stirring dispatch from your devoted, slightly overwhelmed, and eternally grateful for these authors correspondent here at the Novel Nest. If this celebration of literary titans has sparked your reading fire, then for the love of Elizabeth Bennet's wit and Seth's strength, smash that like button until it sings an aria. And if you haven't yet joined our magnificent congregation of literary explorers, what in the name of Virginia Woolf's genius are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's continue this incredible journey through the world of books together. Until our next chapter, keep reading widely, keep reading bravely, and keep celebrating the credible power of stories. Peace out, you amazing readers.